My name is Irving Peiken, born February 13th, 1920.
My name is Sylvia Peiken, born February 26, 1920.
We were married January 9th, 1944, and we've been married ever since. My parents' name was Samuel. My mother's name was Anna. My parents were both in business in a ladies' apparel shop in Brooklyn for many years. My father was a ladies' custom tailor. He used to make garments to order for special sizes for special people. I had an older sister, 9 years older than I am, an older brother, 7 years older than I am, and I had a younger brother, 7 years younger than I am. My sister's name was Ida. My brother's name, older brother's name was Max. My name was Irving. I had the longest name of all, by the way, and Leon was my younger brother. My father came here in 1903. My mother came here in 1906. And they were married, I don't know, they were married in New York, I believe, but I don't have any dates on that at all. First memory of going to a ball game was in the early 30s. We went to the Yankee Stadium in New York City and saw the famous Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig at the same team at the same time. My memory of that game, the first game, is coming home with a big bellyache. On the way to the stadium, I stopped at one of these grocery shops and bought a full pound of peanuts for the same price you pay for a little bag at the stadium. Of course, I came home with an empty bag and a full stomach, and a stomachache. I met Sylvia on a library line at Brooklyn College in 1936. At that time, she was with a young fellow that I'd gone to high school with and very familiar with him. And through him, I met Sylvia. However, I never dated her until after we finished college. Just about Pearl Harbor time, I started courting her. And of course, the war came along and put a stop to our regular meetings. Pearl Harbor Day was a very sad, sad day for us. I had a date with Sylvia at the time, and we invited her over to her home. And while there, we heard the extras of the men going up and down the streets shouting extra, extra, because we had no television at that time. And here we are sitting in the room just about ready to sit down and eat. I was there, and Sylvia's two brothers, one was a little older than I am and one a little younger than I am, all three of us sitting at the table looking and realizing that now with a war coming on like this, that we're not going to be around much longer. And sure enough, within 6 months, I was drafted. I went in June 1942. I was already in the Army.
When do we think about a wedding? And this is a hard thing for anybody to really understand, including myself. We were going pretty seriously, but we couldn't think of a wedding until I got a phone call. It was December 28, 1943. I get a phone call from him. I'm getting a furlough, and my furlough is starting January 8th. I'll have a 10-day furlough. Let's get married. So I said, okay. And he hangs up and he's happy. He knows he's going to get married. Now I go to my mother and I say, well, we're getting married. Now this is December 28th, late at night. So we got to figure from December 29th to January 8th, we have to make all plans. My mother and father insisted that we have a regular wedding. I was the only girl in the family, and they wanted us to have a wedding. Now we have to get we have to get a dress. I have to get a dress. I have to get invitations out. We have the New Year's weekend in between, which cuts down days. We couldn't find a thing. Now here it is Thursday night. I'm getting married Sunday, and I have no dress. So we passed the bridal shop. Mom says, let's see what they have here. There was a dress. It fit me. We took it home. Irv's dad fit it for me, and I had a wedding gown that looked as good as any wedding gown that people would have if they went out months shopping for it. I was a very properly brought up Jewish girl from Brooklyn, and it was the years that you didn't sleep with any guys until after you were married, and here we were married, and then suddenly Irving, who was in the army and knew to walk around with no clothes on, suddenly there is this guy nude. Well, it was a shock to me. It was a culture shock to me.
I didn't own pajamas.
He didn't own any pajamas, and to him it was normal just to walk around as if he were in the barracks, and it was a culture shock to me at that time. P.S. I got used to it.
We raised a couple of children who became successful, and their children are now successful.
Hi, Uncle Chad.
They've given us a spark of life all over again, seeing those grandchildren, great-grandchildren. It's wonderful to see them and wonderful to hold them. We loved them, we saw them whenever we saw them, and they lit up the light in our eyes, even though we don't see them for many months at a time. And see the difference between one visit and another, and the next visit. It's remarkable. We led a decent life, and hopefully a future generation will enjoy life the way we have.